Welcome to Tom Papa's Come to Papa.
Everybody, welcome to another edition of Come to Papa, your favorite podcast among all the other podcasts. All of them. Welcome back, Paul.
Thanks, Tom. Welcome back yourself. You were East Coast in it.
I was, man. I was all over the place. It's good to be back briefly. Got to go to Denver tomorrow, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a big run. But welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming back to the podcast. We're very excited to be with you on this lovely, lovely Tuesday in the fall. This is our first official podcast of the fall.
It doesn't feel like it.
It sure does. September 25th, 2018.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
It's almost Christmas. I can't believe it. Go to tompapa.com and look up all the tour dates. I am all over the place for the next couple of months. Austin, Spokane,
Livermore,
Irvine, Dallas, Austin,
San Antonio,
Kansas City.
That's right.
New York. Live from Here is starting up again a week from Saturday. Have you ever been wondering when the show is going to come back and thinking, I have. That starts up a week from Saturday. Very exciting. The Bread Show. There are 3 more episodes of The Bread Show. We're being bounced around right now because of Halloween. So I'm not sure exactly when the next one airs. I'll keep you posted on that. Feel free to tell the Food Network how much you love the show. So they make more. We haven't heard if we're making more yet. So it's always good to let those people know how much you love us.
But you can watch it anytime on their app thing, right? At least the website. That's where I watched it.
Yeah. Go to the website, go to Food Network, and look
at
Baked,
just
and you can watch them.
Look up Baked.
Yeah, that's good. And I think that's it for the housekeeping, I believe. Paul just came back and entered the studio here with a lovely bread, squaw bread, from the Berkholm Solvang Danish Bakery. What were you doing in Solvang?
I had to do, basically it was funny, I was doing a charity show for the Santa Barbara County Humane thing, so they don't kill dogs at the shelter, you know? So it was like...
You're against the killing of the dogs.
Yes.
Right.
No dogs.
Just to be clear.
They all came to the show. And so I was up, and initially the guy was like, it's near Santa Barbara. So I was like, oh, okay, that's like a day trip. Mm-hmm. And then instead it was Santa Maria, which is like almost to where we're going to San Luis Obispo, too. That was the other one.
Oh, yeah, we've got that and Thousand Oaks.
Yes. I was only about 30 miles from San Luis Obispo. That's how far up I was.
2.5 hours?
3. It was.
I heard San Luis Obispo was 3.
Yeah, it's just, it starts to slow down there. Like, Santa Maria is kind of like almost, there's like, that's where Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch is up there. Santa Ynez and Oprah's Ranch and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
It's very hard to get to.
We're going to have a day.
Yeah.
We are doing a fundraiser in Coral Springs for Crohn's disease in a couple weeks, right?
Okay.
In the middle of October. And we've got to fly out of there, come across the country, get in a car, and get 3 hours north to San Luis Obispo.
Yeah. On a Friday.
On a Friday for that show. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough one.
Yeah, that thing you should take that earlier flight. Because that's going to get you here at 10 a.m. instead of 1. That's really what you need. Because we need to get out of here by like noon.
I thought that was the earliest flight.
From like
From Florida.
Well, that was the thing. I thought you said Coral Gables, so I don't know if Coral Springs is closer to Fort Lauderdale.
I don't know.
But yeah, Miami. There was a Miami one that got here early, like at 10 a.m.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the one that I texted you. You should do that one because that will save us the Friday afternoon traffic, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez. All right, so that's gonna be a big run, but it'll be fun.
We do it for you guys.
We do it for all you kids.
So I went up there, and so we did the show, and then I ended up, there's this really cool, it's close to your Anderson Pea Soup place.
Nice.
And, yeah, there's a town called Solvang.
Yeah.
Which, it's Danish. It's completely, like, it was settled by 3, like, I think they were bakers.
Uh-huh.
And so everything is about bakeries and bread and
wine.
Yes, there's some wine, but this town in particular is all like, you know, the wooden shoes and the windmills and the Hans Christian Andersen. And
it's cool.
It's pretty cool. I'm surprised. I bet your kids have been there.
Yeah, my family's been there. I've never stopped there. That's where Sideways was.
Yeah, that's because I stopped
Paul
at the
Giamatti
pea soup place, and it's about 5 miles off the road from there.
Okay.
You should check it out sometime. It's like
I would love to. Maybe we will on the way to San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, that looks like your Tesla charging station would be.
Yeah.
And are we gonna take the Tesla or no? Or
yeah, of course.
Helicopter it up there?
No, because we're gonna be so tired, we're not gonna be able to drive ourselves. The car's gonna have to drive us up there.
So yeah, that was, and then you do the drive back through Santa Barbara. So it's a pretty neat drive. You get to see a lot of California, that's for sure. Because most of it is like wineries and then just fruit growing and then the ocean.
It's a beautiful state.
Yeah, it's great.
Well, this bread looks good. I thank you for bringing it.
Well, I thought I'd try. I asked what their specialty was because I don't know what Danish people make. Because they were making pretzels, which look great.
Yeah.
And then they have another kind of like donut thing that they make, which seemed a little too like fluffy.
Uh-huh.
So then I went to like this bakery and they had a couple different kinds of. So like that one is the same shape as a sourdough, but they had to bake that, right?
Right.
That's not the same as like just letting the yeast.
They had to bake it? Is that what you said?
Well, yeah. Is it the same? It's not the same process as sourdough, right?
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, the sourdough is basically just using a live culture. It's using, instead of commercial yeast, using this starter. Mm-hmm. It could still be done the same way. But you know, a place like this that's cranking out a bunch, it probably uses a dry yeast or something like that, just so because they have to crank out so much of it.
No, it was pretty small actually.
Yeah,
they had a good variety of like just different things. But they seemed like that squaw thing is like an old fashioned like native like recipe or whatever. So it's kind of cool.
That is very cool. It looks really good. It smells good through the plastic. Of course, I won't eat it because I don't want to offend our listeners.
It's funny you got
squaw is an American Indian woman or wife.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the bread that the Indian woman would make. In Urban Dictionary, it says squaw in all capitals does not, back to lowercase, mean vagina. It comes from the Massachusetts Algonquin tribe.
Ooh.
Oh. Very interesting. Well, this bread will be good. I'm excited. I just baked 2 loaves of bread this morning. They came out really good. Really nice, puffy bread. This is, and do I get to eat it? No, because I'll be leaving in the morning to go to Denver.
Yeah.
For the 10th anniversary of the Comedy Works.
10th? That's it?
10th.
Do you celebrate that?
I guess they are. That's why I'm going in early. I'm doing a special show for them, and then I'm there the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's one of my favorite clubs, so I'm excited, but I've only been home for like half a second.
Yeah, that's the funny thing when you see even the town we went through is like everything's historic.
Yeah.
But it's like from the 1920s.
Right.
Like that's what California is like. It's super old if it's from the 30s. It's so different from the East Coast.
I know. I was in Portland, Maine last weekend. Last Thursday or Friday. And, northeast Maine, just starting to feel like fall. Just starting to get a little bit of a colder temperature. Still no leaves. Nothing's really happening. But we did roll into the fall season now. Had the first big full moon last night. That was a monster. And then I cruised down from Portland through Rhode Island and down to West Hampton.
So that was a lot of driving.
Yeah, it was a lot of driving. It was all broken up, but it was a lot. And then everybody was out, though. Everybody was starting the fall festival stuff.
Last blowout.
Going to get some leaves. Going to look at some leaves. Going to pick apples. A lot of apple picking going on. A lot of cider and donuts. It was all
pumpkins.
In full effect. People are just busting at the seams wanting to do something fall.
Yeah.
Pumpkins everywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. It's in full effect. Then you come out here, and it's hot.
How early do you let your daughters get the pumpkin? You have to wait until October?
They rot. They rot and implode. I don't know why they don't rot when they're just like out in the field.
They rot when they make them in pies. That's why I don't eat them. You honestly like pumpkin pie?
I love pumpkin pie. Everybody does, unless you're a communist.
What is in it that makes it so tasty? Because nobody eats pumpkin. Why don't you have a slice of pumpkin for hors d'oeuvres? Why doesn't anybody eat pumpkin for anything else?
Because it's not baked up with. That's like saying, why are you just scooping flour into your face for an appetizer?
No, you
gotta
like
mix it up.
Cantaloupe. You can't eat pumpkin.
It's got what? Cantaloupe?
Yeah, it's a melon, right? A pumpkin.
A pumpkin is a melon?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
No?
No. I'll ask my...
Or a squash? It's probably the squash family, wouldn't you say?
Is pumpkin a fruit?
No,
Pumpkins are squash.
Okay.
And also gourds. But are they fruit? A fruit is usually edible reproductive body of a seed plant. Pumpkins are edible, and if you ever cut one open, you know it's full of seeds. So the pumpkin is the fruit of the pumpkin vine.
Okay. But you don't eat it, right? Unless you mix it with a bunch of other stuff.
You gotta, yeah.
How come squash doesn't get a pie?
Ugh.
Or a gourd. Have you ever eaten a gourd?
No, I've never eaten a gourd. I would like to. I'd give it a shot.
That's what we got to find. The world's greatest
squash,
gourd.
Though. I've had like a butternut squash.
Yeah, they try to slip that in.
You put cinnamon on them. You bake them up.
But so many things you can't even tell they're squash.
These are autumn things. I mean, a pumpkin pie is delicious. It's got little clovey things in it, and it's got cinnamon,
I don't know,
butter, sugar.
I just think if I was one of the pilgrims that saw that first table and the cornucopia is just pumpkins and squash, I'd be like, no thanks, guys.
You would have died. You would have been... They'd be like, why is Paul laying in the field?
What's for dessert?
He won't eat pumpkins. What do you mean? He refuses. He's laying in the field. The crows are pecking in his eyes. And he just wouldn't. And they're like, what? We'll make it into a pie. We'll put ginger and cloves in it with some cinnamon. No, he won't do it. He hates pumpkins.
We brought you donuts. Thanks for the squash.
Pumpkin pies are amazing. Do you like any pie? Oh, you like the cream pies.
I like cream pie. I'll get a like an apple that isn't like a solid apple. You know, that's kind of like mixed.
If it's you don't like the big chunks of apple in the apple pie.
It's a little creepy, right?
I have a big thing about that's going to start happening. You like if like they're shaved down. You don't like the big chunks. I get it. We, as you know, here at Come to Papa, bake a lot of bread. It is a process of fermentation. And we are going to be expanding that. We're going to start fermenting a lot of other things.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to start with pickles. Will you eat pickles?
I think I could just wait long enough to not eat the pickle that it would get fermented.
If you could what?
I would just leave the jar in my refrigerator until it was fermented, probably.
We are going to make them from scratch.
What?
Yep. We have some 2-gallon jars being sent to the house with an aerator off the top so it doesn't explode.
Okay.
And we will be plopping cucumbers into a vat of a salt brine with dill and spices, and over 10 days we will let them ferment. And
it's only 10 days?
And then we will be eating pickles right here on Come to Papa.
But you could also just eat pickles now, I think.
You could go buy pickles.
Right.
But have you ever made a pickle?
I still don't think you're making them. I think somebody's sending them to you.
My mom gave me a nickel to buy a pickle. I didn't buy a pickle. I bought some chewing gum. Chewing gum.
Is that a made-up song?
My mother, I think, might have made it up in the 1920s.
I was like, your mano.
Mano. Yeah, so you can take this big 2-gallon mason jar kind of a thing.
Okay.
And you fill all the stuff in and you put the cucumbers in and it ferments. And this activity creates this gas, so it has to have this air escape on the top or the whole thing will explode.
Okay.
And this is going to be the first step, Paul. Soon, who knows, you might be getting a Christmas gift of a mason jar filled with pickled eggs. You might be getting all sorts of pickled items. We're just going to experiment with the fermentation.
So what's I don't get the end game of risking the possible explosion for
a pickle?
Well, did you have a meeting that you guys were like, hey, we need to attack the pickle market and get...
This is all on
Were
me.
they on Postmates?
This is all on me. This is my expansion of this. It's, fermentation is what creates the bread dough.
Right.
So I just want to see what else what else can we use this fermentation for? Let's check it out. So I'm going to check out this natural process and kind of learn, and in the process you will be getting little mason jars with bows on them filled with pickled items. It's going to be very exciting. So it's all coming in. The equipment is coming in this week, and then we will get into the process when I return.
Okay. I thought you were going, is this to prepare to get into, like, making your own whiskey or something? Or
Well, I'm not really interested in that. The next step, or not the next step, I could have just gone to the step of making my own beer.
Right.
And that's what a lot of dudes tend to do. But I don't drink that much beer, and a lot of people make it really well.
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Right.
I don't need to make my own wine, make my own beer. You know what I was watching on YouTube last night, which was pretty exciting, was the making of cheese.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, of brie cheese. Do you ever eat brie?
A little bit. Is that the one that's really expensive? What's the one they make in the wheels?
Most cheese.
What's the one that's really expensive, though? Would there be one?
The most expensive cheese? I don't know.
Because they had
The reason I started looking into the brie, it was because of there's always a debate in my house whether you should eat the rind or not.
Oh.
And it's kind of disgusting when people start picking underneath the rind just to get the creamy part of the cheese.
Yeah.
And they leave the rind on top. I always find it repulsive. So I was looking it up to see, should you eat it?
What do they say?
It says eat it. It's the same material as the inside, and that you're supposed to eat it. The most expensive cheese in the world, Pool, P-U-L-E, Pule, is worth $576 a pound.
What?
As cheeses go, Parmesan Reggiano and Camembert are both very pricey.
I think it's Parmesan.
But they don't even hold a candle to Pule, an extremely rare cheese made in Serbia from donkey milk.
Yikes.
That was recently named the most expensive cheese in the world. And here's something I didn't realize. That, like the next question on Google is, how much does donkey cheese cost? Oh, I was thinking about moving the podcast outside today, and the gardeners just showed up. So
right.
Good thing we didn't. Now it feels like we're outside.
Yeah, I think it's Parmesan was, they had like a Parmesan heist, and they just stole like a bunch of wheels, and it was like close to $1 million worth of cheese they stole.
Wow.
So those big wheels are like $1,000 each.
Well, here's a wheel of Parmesan Reggiano from Williams-Sonoma.
I don't know if that's the high end.
Well, Williams-Sonoma is like an overpriced kitchen place. This doesn't say how big it is, but it's a wheel of it. $2,499.
Yeah. So that was like...
How big is this?
It was one of those places that because they age
80,
it. They age it, right? Is that
80 pounds. As delectable as it is impressive, our show-stopping wheel of Parmesan Reggiano is sure to make a statement at your holiday gathering. Made in Emilia-Romagna region of Italy, this aromatic Parmesan Reggiano weighs approximately 80 pounds. Once cut, the hard, smooth exterior reveals the cheese's perfect crystalline texture and a piquant, salty flavor. Size for large gatherings, this classic favorite pairs beautifully with full-bodied reds. You rich douche. Who would buy an 80-pound, $2,500 thing of cheese and just put it out for your guests?
How many people?
You know how many school books you could buy with that?
You got to spread out a lot over 80 pounds. That's...
I think it's crazy when you get a fancy cheese and it's $12. Right? That sounds like a lot for cheese.
Yeah.
$2,500. Good Lord. Well, here's a little bit. So then I was looking at how they make brie, and it was kind of cool. That's such an old dude thing not to like spend all of your entertainment hours on YouTube
or video games.
Yeah, they just have everything you want to learn. I learned about pickling last night. I learned how to make brie. And then my friend Rachel gave me, for doing her wedding, she gave me this great book on pairing cheese with wine.
Uh-huh.
And so I was just flipping through that. And here's like an obvious fact. Two little silly obvious facts. One, the best cheeses come out in the fall because the cows have been eating all spring, getting fat in the summer, creating the milk, and then it's all made into cheese and then shipped out in the fall. So, like, to get like Stilton blue cheese and those kind of things, fall, we're coming into cheese time.
Yeah.
There's other cheeses that are year round, but there's
we are not you. You're allergic to dairy, so
It's true. My daughter, I think, might have the allergy a little.
Yeah. Well, it's like me researching cats. Like,
I know, but once in a while you got to pet a cat. I do love cheese a lot. I mean, the good thing is that it does make me sneeze if I have too much of it or snore, so I don't go too crazy with it. But I love cheese.
Maybe you can get shots of it.
Like Wallace and Gromit.
Isn't that what they... No, when they...
A cheese shot?
They try to... they give you allergy shots. They give you small doses of whatever you... Just shoot some...
They'll give me a little camembert in
cheese.
my ass. The other thing... do you know what curds and whey are?
I do. Isn't it like a soup with cheese or some kind of stew?
No. Curds, in the process of making cheese, there is liquid that comes out, which is called whey.
Oh, that's the liquid.
And curds is the hard, hard cheesy bits.
Yeah, Milwaukee, you definitely get the curds. Cheese curds are big there.
Right. So, curds and whey.
But whey is like nobody drinks the...
I think you just throw it out.
Cheese juice.
Yeah. So, we're coming into wine, cheese, pickle time of year. This is what happens when I'm on the road too much and I start craving being at home.
Yeah, I didn't... well, that was the thing, is they had all these... oh, you gotta learn how to make those pretzels, man.
I do make pretzels.
They're so good.
Didn't I give you pretzels early on? You've never had one of my pretzels?
No, you said that you were gonna try, but I don't think I ever was there when it was like completed.
Oh, man. I make some good pretzels.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like, all those donuts, because what they do is they make this, it's basically a round donut, and they try to put powdered sugar, and then you dip it in jam. But then, just the pretzel is just good by itself.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
What's with the donut and the pretzel? What?
It's called Abel Skivers. Like ABELSKIVER.
In Solvang.
Yes. Well, it's just a Danish, breakfast food, I think.
Thank heaven you don't have to pronounce it to eat it. What is it? That's probably the most asked question. Well, how do you explain it? There are probably hundreds of explanations. I dare say none of them are correct, including mine. This is the... I hate when you look something up and they give you 4 paragraphs of what ifs and what do you call it, and just get to it.
Yeah.
Are we past this? If I'm opening up a book and want to spend my time reading Abel Skliver little tidbits, fine. But come on.
Wikipedia, 2 sentences.
Boom.
Round donut.
A delicacy supposedly invented by some Dane back in history. They are like a waffle or a pancake formed like a tennis ball. The name makes people believe that there are slices of apples inside, which is correct. If you put apple slices, this writer's an idiot. You see, everybody, including me, has their own favorite recipe. You can find them served in several different ways in Solvang. So it's a mushed up...
Oh, it's like a round...
It's round, dipped in jelly.
You dip it in jelly, and it has, powdered... It's almost like... what do they call those smidgets? Remember?
A smidget?
No, munchkins.
Oh, like a
Dunkin'
donut
Donuts?
hole?
Yeah. There you go. It's like they come in 3s.
Oh, yeah, like fried dough. Like with dipped in powdered sugar and jam. Ooh, those look good.
So they have a special pan you could make them with. And
ooh, those look really good.
Oh, yeah, didn't you see that? Cinnamon bread with just frosting all over the outside.
That looks amazing, too.
Yeah, these people love the bread, man. That's the next city you got to go to, I think.
I like that you're out on your own exploring breads.
Well, that's the thing is when you're in these towns, you either have to get into the wooden shoes or the food part of it. So.
A tennis ball-sized dollop of dough, some raspberry jam, and outside a dusting of powdered sugar. There is no mere collection of calories. It's cultural. This is no mere. Arnie Abelskiver, the dessert described above, is a big draw at the Solvang restaurant because it's tasty, because it's an emblem of Solvang's enduring Danish history. dates back to 1911 when immigrant Danish educators put down stakes. Over time, the theme proved a big lure for tourists. Wow. A century later, the tourist-friendly town is full of windmills and design homages to Denmark. Well, that sounds delicious.
So it's not like an actual thing in...
Anywhere else?
Yeah, in Denmark. It was just created for in California.
Yeah, I guess they just started it when they got here.
I mean, it's one of those things, too, where they serve them in threes, and you could only finish two.
Yeah.
It's, like, really...
Heavy.
Yeah.
I get that. Wow, those look delicious, though. I will make you the pretzels.
Okay.
The pretzels come out good. They're but you got to eat them warm right when they come out. They get hard pretty quick.
Do they?
Yeah. Like over the day, like the next day, they're pretty hard. But, ooh, they're good. Take the leftover sourdough, you put them in a baking soda bath once they're formed, and that gives it that little crispy, pretzel-y outside.
Right.
Oh, they're good. A little mustard.
It's hard to make a bad pretzel, too. Like, I'm not saying, like, there isn't one, but, like, I remember even the first thing, like, I don't even know, did your school have, like, anything good, like, to eat? Like,
no.
Like, our cafeteria had nothing, but the one big perk was they had the soft pretzel machine, like, and I think they were $0.25.
Oh,
and I think I ate that for lunch for about 2 years. Like that.
The only thing
so
was
good.
Pizza was kind of good. It was just
but it was
blob
orange
of dough with cheese on it.
The cheese was like bright orange.
Yeah,
it was so. They even screwed up pizza.
Yeah, disgusting. My kids, you should hear my
they can eat anything, right?
It's like they have like gourmet dining every day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's completely insane. All right, I will make you pretzels.
Sweet. Yeah,
Halloween is coming, as we know from all of the fall ornaments around town. We're at an impasse with the Halloween party. It's a decades-long party at this point. Mm-hmm. And it's always been a big jam and always tons of people. But the problem is, the base of this Halloween party, a lot of the children are now getting big.
Yeah.
My kid's probably going to end up going to parties elsewhere, like with other high schoolers. My other one is going to be kind of in and out with a couple of friends. And I'm thinking I was like, do we try and pad it out and try and make the party something big with a bunch of other people? Doesn't seem practical.
And this year is a weird thing because it's like on a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday.
So when do you have the party?
On Wednesday.
I think we got to be somewhere Thursday, I think.
We do?
Yeah, I think that's when we go to like Kansas City and Texas that weekend. Like November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.
Right. Well, we better book those flights now because I can't not be home on Halloween. It's kind of a...
So that's what I was thinking. I don't know if the party would be the weekend before.
Well, that was another way I was thinking. What if we just did a party on that Sunday and made it like that kind of a thing?
That would be cool. I think that's what people are going to end up doing.
You think so? And then Halloween, you just have a couple people over and the kids go trick-or-treating?
Well, people are up for having the party before the actual holiday, but after it just doesn't seem right.
No, especially for Halloween.
Can't have a Halloween party on November 3rd.
The problem is you never want to have like a sad Halloween party because then you're standing there in your costume alone. That's a little rough.
Well, what's going on with the... I saw the big sign, Tom. You got to tell me what's going on with this.
What do you got?
The block party.
Oh, when is it? Was there a date on it?
I couldn't see, but I just saw.
Yeah, the big neighborhood block party. I'm usually not home for that either. And it's really for like little kids, and my children don't want to go, and I make them go because I'm trying to teach them they have a sense of community,
right,
and that you have to go meet your neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, no one wants to talk to us, and we don't want to. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You just have to show up and stand there and people can go, "Oh, you live in that house." That's what it's about.
Yeah.
I said, "You think I'm enjoying it?" I kind of do enjoy it. I liked it. I've only gone a couple times. I'm usually away, but it's nice. You get everybody out of your dumb homes,
Right.
and the kids get to eat watermelon and face paint and do a hula hoop contest, and it's nice to see people. Even though one of our neighbors was a complete ass to my wife the other day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we have a crazy cat that bullies people. And this woman was basically saying to my wife, straight up, like as my wife was walking the dog, that, we saw that cat, and she was basically saying, the cat's really great, but who's ever taking care of it is irresponsible idiot. Which is, my wife is the person taking care of the cat. This woman knows that. You know what I mean?
Right.
How shitty people are. First of all, it's none of your business. If you see a cat, you don't like it, you say, "Get out of here, cat," and it takes off.
Yeah.
How powerless are you as a human being that you can't handle a cat walking through your yard with a little collar on? Get over yourself.
Well, as a cat hater, I sympathize with that part of it, because it is a cat just walking around, but like in my building's only like 6, and then there's like a huge apartment building that has a bunch of balconies, and a cat from there is always on one of our cars in the next driveway. So I'm always like, yeah, it's fine, but if it does screw up my car, then I'm going to find out who owns it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't keep a cat from running over there, but...
Yeah, exactly. What are you going to, some cats live outside. What are you going to do? Deal with it.
Well, they don't want to...
And you cats are going to come and go. You dumbass person is going to live in that house, and we're going to live in this house. You really want to stir shit up? Just be a normal human being.
I did think that's one of the jokes you should bring back.
Which one?
The cat one.
Open
you really
the door?
think he wants to be there? Open the door.
Yeah. I'm going to write a new joke about neighbors who are old and decaying and lose perspective of what it is to be a human being.
Yeah, there was another. The other one was it wasn't. You did one about Walmart, maybe? Did you ever do that?
Costco?
Well, no. It was way before that. When you go into like, it was either Walmart or one of those like kind of like sketchy stores, and you're like, I just need deodorant. This guy's buying a suit. Do you have a joke about that? Like, I thought it was Walmart or something.
It's funny. I don't remember. I mean, my other, we all got stuff. There's animals coming through my place all the time. I'm not going to, be obnoxious to my neighbor's wife because of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a dog on the other side that just barks his head off. What am I going to go over and tell the wife that you don't live right because it doesn't match what my schedule is?
Yeah.
Get over yourself. My buddy Steve's our cats have gone after each other for a long time. And we're pals.
Well, that's the thing. You could either be... You could
either be a normal human being, or you could be a crotchety person who doesn't have a sex life anymore, and you take it out on the rest of the world.
Well,
it's
it's
not
not
that
like
guy with the blower. He's just blowing all over.
Well, it's not like you're gonna move because somebody doesn't like your
car.
cat.
That's not a good move. Blowers in California. I don't know if it's this in the rest of the country, but everybody's just blowing stuff at each other.
Right.
He's blowing stuff onto the neighbor, then the neighbor's going to blow it onto that guy, and then that guy's going to blow it. Just whatever happened to putting it in a bag and going to the dump?
It's a Ponzi scheme.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
The three guys
by the leaf people.
The 3 guys work the block, and they just push the leaves to the next guy's thing, and then he puts it to the next one.
Yeah, and then we all show up at the block party. Oh, there he goes. Oh, he got it all over, and now he's picking it up into a bucket. There you go. That guy knows how to live. The Yankees, I went to Yankee Stadium when I was back in New York last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
First game of the year that I was able to get to.
Sweet.
My friend Debbie hooked us up with some great tickets. We got to see the Yankees pummel the Boston Red Sox.
Nice.
It was a sweet, sweet night. The weather was perfect. And we ate a ton of food, went crazy, and the stadium was beautiful. And now they're trying to fight for home field advantage. They've clinched a playoff spot, and they're hoping that they'll be able to play Oakland at home.
Yeah.
If they have to go to Oakland, probably going to lose. And then my buddy, Chris DiStefano, comedian in New York, he got to do a gig for Bernie Williams.
Oh, yeah?
And it was... they asked him to come do some time at his birthday party, so he went and did it, and he saw Joe Girardi there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And I hope I'm not speaking out of school, but Girardi was like, doesn't really matter who you start in the wild card game because who's ever playing Boston is in trouble.
Yeah.
Because Boston is so good this year. But then that night, we beat them 10-1, so
yeah,
you never
the
know.
Yankees, I think they did themselves a favor by, all those guys, McCutchen, Voit, all these guys the Red Sox hadn't seen all year.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that ended up getting the big hits. So,
but the Red Sox team was tough. My football pool, I've been getting demolished.
Oh, yeah?
A little under 500. Not the best. Not the worst. My best week, we're 3 weeks in now, or 4 weeks in? Three. My best week was when, I just asked my daughter.
Which teams?
Yeah, New York versus Tampa, who do you think? And she would just say the city that she liked best. I did very well that week, and the 2 following weeks where I picked them myself based on my football expertise.
Yeah.
Awful.
Can't pick a tie.
It's hard.
The Giants finally won.
Buffalo explodes, and they win.
Yeah.
Miami's undefeated.
And the
Jets stink.
Yeah, the Steelers are 1-1-1 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. You never know who these... It's hard to pick in September. You just don't know who's showing up.
Well, it's the weirdest football season because usually football, of all the sports, there's not a ton of surprises. You might get 1 or 2 rookies that play well. Mm-hmm. But this is the Tampa Bay quarterbacks, that Fitzpatrick guy is had the 3 best... he's the first quarterback to throw for 400 yards 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
And and he was their third string guy, coming into the season. And there's a couple other rookies that are having crazy seasons so far. It's only 3 weeks. Saquon Barkley for the Giants. Yeah. There's a lot of new players.
What's the new quarterback for Cleveland? Whitfield? Westfield?
Wayfield? No.
Wayfield?
Is that what it is?
Wayfinafnashni? Wafnafnu?
It's too early to learn the names even.
Cleveland quarterback. You're thinking about...
It's Wayfield, right? I think.
You're thinking about Mayfield. Right.
And then, on top of that, it was the NBA Media Day yesterday. So that means everyone's talking about LeBron James in L.A.
Yeah, very exciting. I saw that ad for the video game that I think is advertising, and him in his Laker uniform.
Yeah, he's going to be everywhere. People are going to be sick of it. It's he's already producing 20 movies.
I know.
He's
well, how old is he? How old is LeBron James?
He's 33.
33?
So he's that's the thing, though. It's Shaq, you're okay, he did always want to be on TV.
Right.
LeBron really isn't, an outgoing guy. I think he's one of those guys that, does the stuff that you're supposed to do. I'm supposed to do a couple commercials, but,
He was good in Amy's movie.
Well,
Amy Schumer's movie.
Good as...
Oh, my God. Bill Cosby sentenced 3 to 10 years.
Oh, yeah?
There he is in his suspenders walking off to jail. Oh, my God, that's so weird.
It's going to be good for his new hour.
Sentenced on Tuesday for drugging and sexually assaulting a woman, Andrea Constand, at his home 14 years ago. He will go straight to prison after the judge denied him a request to remain free on bail while pursuing an anticipated appeal. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Man, oh, man.
Didn't know
Bill Cosby.
what he would... I guess I knew he was on trial, but I didn't know how many of those cases they could actually prosecute, or... So it was just the one?
Well, I guess that's the one that he got sentenced for. Yeah. Oof. It's just sad. God. He was huge. Fat Albert.
Well, the Cosby Show.
All his stand-up. God. What an icon.
Everything erased.
Fun, joyful predator. Oof. Man, oh man. The world is changing under our feet. Maybe that's your costume this year.
I don't think so.
Cosby eating Jell-O in like one of those old-timey prison uniforms. Hey, a lot of times people always ask us, they always ask us. People always ask us.
This is how we know you're making it up. They don't ask you, Tom.
They do. You say you're a comedian and they want to know they want a joke. And they're always asking us for jokes. And we don't keep those kind of jokes in our head, those street jokes, because they're bad. But I have two good ones today.
Uh-oh.
These were given to me by Colin Quinn, the great Colin Quinn. We were on the phone the other day, and he rifled off these two jokes from a joke book he was reading, and I think you're going to enjoy them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They're silly, but they're funny. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Teacher said, Johnny, you wrote an essay about your dog, and it's the same exact essay that your brother wrote last year. Johnny said, of course it is. It's the same dog. Nothing?
Well, that's it. I thought that was the setup.
Here's the second one from Colin Quinn. Johnny, the teacher said, I know you cheated off Teddy on your test. Anytime he didn't know an answer, he wrote, I don't know. And you wrote, neither do I. All right.
It's always Johnny.
They're Johnny jokes. That was a good one. You laughed. It surprised you.
I just imagine Colin Quinn trying to barrel through that.
Yeah, mumbling and stumbling. And kind of made it funnier. All right. We're going to post the live one from last week, which was a very good episode. We're going to post that at the end of this week. We are out on tour, so look us up at tompapa.com and paulsawebsite.com. We're all over the place. We got to book our flights for the day after Halloween. That's going to be a big problem. We cannot go in on Halloween. I can't do it. It's going to be tough. But which Kansas City is it? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's halfway.
Is it the one in Kansas or is it the one in Missouri?
Either way, it's halfway to New York, so it's probably...
It's going to be an early flight with a connection.
Or a night before.
Can't be the night before because it's Halloween.
It's true. Unless there's a 2 a.m.
Oh, my God. And then we got to figure out our costumes. We got to figure out our party, whether we're going to do it on the Sunday or do we just... I don't want to do two parties. It's going to end up doing two parties. Why don't we just do the one on Halloween? It'll just be mellow. We'll just throw on like a mask and like smoke cigars
the
through
Wednesday.
It and hand out candy. Right? What else are we going to do? I don't know. Well, this is very exciting. We are in the fall month, my friends. We are in the beginning of fall. Not really. My thoughts have not been clear on this podcast at all. We have entered fall. We're supposed to enjoy it. I will be in Denver looking for good bread, hanging out with the 10th anniversary of this beautiful club. I'm going to eat my face off and then come back even fatter. It's it. It's Christmas. Why try and stay in shape at this point?
All the way, yeah.
It's all over.
See you in January.
See you. All right, everybody. Enjoy your life.